Nintendo, it took you a couple decades, but you're finally listening to your fan base and you're listening to the consumer, and better late than never, I think it's awesome.
Skip it up and that up.
So there was a time many years ago, before the N64, we're going back to the Super Nintendo and Nintendo days, that Nintendo was the company you went to and you bought their hardware knowing that you could get games from everywhere, whether it be first-party games from Nintendo, whether it be third-party games from Capcom, Konami, EA, so on and so forth, you name it. If you had a Nintendo platform pre-N64, you knew that you were going to have a huge library of games from many developers and many publishers. It seemed like after the N64 that changed. I know there were some really good third-party games for like the GameCube, and there were third-party games for all Nintendo systems, the N64, the Wii, the Wii U, but it was never as strong as it was back in the SNES and NES days, or Famicom and Super Famicom days, depending on where you come from. And people have, throughout the years, have had the same demands from Nintendo. Nintendo, we want you to bring back third-party games. And you would have devout fanboys who were either in denial or they would fight with you saying, oh, Nintendo never had huge third-party support. Nintendo doesn't need third-party support. I just go to Nintendo for first-party IPs. But it seemed console generation, save for the Wii, it seemed console generation after console generation, they always seemed to lag behind. And part of the reason for that being was because of the lack of third-party support. I'm not the only person saying this. There's even die-hard Nintendo fanboys that also have logic that say it as well. And Nintendo finally, it seems like with the Switch, is listening to us, and we're seeing proof that they're actually changing their ways and they're getting great third-party games on their newest console. I mean, this is just coming off the top of my head. Think of the third-party games that are coming to the Switch. You have Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Granted, it may be the 6,000th release of that game for various platforms, but it's still a good thing that it's coming to the Switch. You have Doom, the 2016 Doom. You have L.A. Noire from Rockstar. Rockstar's making a game for a Nintendo platform again. You have Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. Almost forgot the name of it, but glad I didn't because I'm super excited for that game. You have Payday 2. Not a big fan of the Payday series, but hey, a lot of people love that game, and that game is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And the other thing about that third-party list that I just brought up, if you notice something, those are all more adult-themed games. Nintendo is finally realizing they need to have titles for more adult gamers. And finally, that's sinking in as well. As a matter of fact, Inti Creates chief executive Takuya Aizu, they make the game Galgun 2, was shocked that they got the green light to get their game on the Nintendo Switch. This is what he had to say about it. I thought it wouldn't be possible to release such a game for the Switch, but surprisingly, Nintendo gave me positive feedback. And this isn't just a fluke in third-party games like Doom and Wolfenstein and Galgun 2 are just magically tripping onto Nintendo's newest console. Nintendo realizes that they're getting more third-party games and more mature games, and this is what they had to say about it. As with books, television, and movies, different content is meant for different audiences. Nintendo also said that they're embracing independent developers more too, and I'm sure if you open up your Switch and go into the eShop, you'll notice that as well, which is also a very good thing. So what is my take on all this? Well, I have 2 points that I want to bring up. One is going to annoy people, but I don't care. Because you need to be annoyed, because we've been telling you this for years. But the first thing I'll say is, thank you, Nintendo. Thank God you're finally listening. We're happy that you're finally listening. We wish you listened years ago, but better late than never. There's a reason that saying exists, and it's true. You could have just ignored us and stayed on the same path, and eventually it would have destroyed the company, in my opinion. That's how I feel, and a lot of other people feel the same way. But you're changing your tune, and we're seeing phenomenal games come to the console. And I have a feeling, like I've said before, because the Switch is a hybrid console where you can use it on the go and use it on your big screen TV at home, even if games like Doom and Wolfenstein 2 don't look as good, because you get more value out of them and you could play them on the train, plane, or at your house, people are still going to be interested in picking them up because it's like getting 2 games in one that you can play at home and play on the go. And I think that's going to be very appealing to people, and I think the third-party games, even if they're on other platforms and look better on other platforms, are going to sell well on the Switch. So Nintendo, bravo. I'm really excited to see the direction the Switch takes. But now, to the fanboys out there who have called me a Nintendo hater for years during the Wii days and the Wii U days, when I said Nintendo needs third-party games on their platform, I would get argument after argument after argument with Nintendo fanboys saying, Rich, you don't know what you're talking about. You just hate Nintendo. And Nintendo, all they need is their first-party exclusives. That's the only reason why I buy Nintendo systems. If I want to play third-party games, I'll get a PC. Or I'll get another console. But here's the thing I never understood about that. Here's the reality. Not everyone, if you're watching my videos, you're more than likely an enthusiast. You're passionate about this hobby, so chances are a lot of you own more than one platform. But a lot of times, people, even with the Nintendo Switch, even though it's very different, they're like, look, I only have time. I'm 30-something years old, or it's even 20-something, or even if you're in your teens and you're in college, look, I only have time to play one system, okay? So I have to pick one. And which one are you going to pick? You're going to pick the system that has the most diverse library. Okay, so whether it be the PS4 or Xbox One or PC or Switch, you're going to pick one that is going to have the games that you want to play. And if there are more games on the system, chances are people are going to want to buy that platform more because they'll have more choices. And that's what's happening right now with the Switch. People are like, man, you know, I have a full schedule this semester at college. Okay, let's use a college kid, for example. And he or she may be like, you know what's awesome about the Switch? I could take it with me. So when I have a break, or if I want to take a break between studying, I could just take the system with me and play Wolfenstein 2 on the go, or play Skyrim on the go, or play LA Noire on the go, or Doom on the go. And then I could play it back in my dorm and just pop it in the dock. That's amazing. That's amazing. And that's why third-party support is so important, because now the Switch seems more appealing to a broader audience because it has more games to bring people in. And I don't understand why fanboys fought me throughout all these years over that. Why? Why would you not want more games on your system? And the funniest thing now is I see some of the same fanboys, and I'm not going to name any names. Now they're cheering that these games are on the Switch. Before, when the games weren't coming to the Switch, you would defend Nintendo, fight anyone tooth and nail who said it's terrible that they don't have third-party games coming to their platform. Now that they do, those same people are applauding it, because you have to defend your piece of plastic no matter what. Instead of using common sense, whatever your favorite company does, you have to praise them, even if it's dumb. This is a good move. I know you've known for years that Nintendo needed third-party support and more adult games, but you just didn't want to admit it because they weren't getting it. Now that they are, you're happy about it. So, because guys like us complained, because there was a huge amount of the consumers that complained, Nintendo listened. So to the fanboys that have been in denial all this time, saying Nintendo doesn't need third-party games, that are now happy that they have third-party games, because of guys like me complaining and the huge community complaining, you got them. So you're welcome. This is Rich, Review Tech USA, signing out. Have a good one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, and to hear more content like this, make sure to subscribe to Review Tech USA.